As long as everyone follows the rules and is considerate of others, we can relax and enjoy driving. Enjoy driving, enjoy driving, enjoy driving. Without rules, the unexpected can be trouble.
I have two sides. As much as I enjoy relaxing and taking in the scenic views of Snowrunner, I also love derby racers. Games like Gran Turismo are great to test my precision and knowledge of racecraft, but sometimes it's more fun to have a heavy foot and an empty head, where technique flies out the window in place of pure carnage. Welcome to Derby Days, a new mini-series where every now and again I'll go back and look at some of the best derby racers of days past. So tighten your belts, take some painkillers, and get comfy. We're going derby racing.
I like to tear up cars. I love to crash.
Test Drive EOD is what would happen if there was a whole town without any women. Living in your trailer with nothing but your chickens and a driveway full of priceless classics. Meeting up with the boys to slam some Keystone Lights. And street racing your $500 beaters all over town. This is Test Drive Eve of Destruction. The closest we ever got to a grassroots derby sim. And my second favorite racing game of all time. What's my first? I know this game doesn't look that impressive, but keep in mind, this was 2004. Okay, graphics aside, the gameplay loop, the overall vibe, the soundtrack. Oh my god, the soundtrack. Hoobastank, Thursday, Sum 41, Autopilot Off, Thrice. Like dude, there is no context where Artist in the Ambulance goes harder than this game. No derby racer before it, or recently, has even come close to what this game does. Most derby racers land on one of two sides, going absolutely insane and making it a blood sport like Destruction Derby Arenas, or having some realistic aspects but ridiculous over-the-top track design and speed, like Flat Out or Wreckfest. Test Drive does its best to simulate a county fair-style derby, keeping itself grounded in reality but not forgetting that it's a video game. I mean, solidifying where the devs got their inspiration for this game. Throughout the game, you unlock short videos with clips taken from Spike TV's Carpocalypse.
If it's nutty, if it's crazy, it says on the shirt, Redneck Rodeo, and that's what it is.
Before you start the career mode, you get to pick your nickname, similar to games like Race Driver Grid. The announcer at events will say your name. A lot. So you better pick one you like, because as much as I love the announcer, he never shuts the hell up. I always pick Wrong Way Willie because my dick is on backwards.
Wrong way, Willie. Wrong way, Willie. Wrong way, Willie. Wrong way, Willie. Wrong way, Willie.
The career mode is centered around this little hub town. You have your house where you spawn and save your game. The junkyard where you buy, sell, and trade your cars. The shop where you can buy upgrades and use the worst paint editor ever put into a game. MS Paint ass editor, this thing sucks. And the diner, where you can race other competitors for extra cash. Driving out of town will allow you to enter an Eve. I've never heard anything called an Eve before. Did they just shorten the word event and thought they were clever? Anyway, Eves, no, that's fucking stupid. I'm calling them events. Events are the main progression in the story. They have big payouts, rank you up, and unlock new cars, which matters because you go through cars in this game like I go through cases of Baja Blast. This game does something I wish so many other racing games would. Your car stays damaged until you pay to repair it. That sounds like it would be antithetical to a derby racer, but it fits so well into the flow of this game. The cost to repair most cars is so little that it doesn't really matter unless you're absolutely strapped for cash. The expensive high-performance cars have equally expensive repairs, which creates a flow of having a cheap, crappy car for derbies and filler races and an absolute weapon for when you're falling behind in the event standings. It adds a risk versus reward, because you can total a car completely. Much like a Nissan Altima, every time you repair your car, you decrease its maximum health, eventually leaving a car so fragile it's borderline useless. Most cars are inexpensive, and even totaled cars still have some scrap value when you trade them in at the junkyard. When I call this game a sim light, this is what I mean. Most derby cars in real life don't survive more than one event, and if they do, they show up to the next one welded and ratchet strapped together. You're probably thinking this would make you want to avoid smashing cars, you know, the fun part of the game. But Test Drive doesn't cling on to what makes sense and what doesn't. It does what's fun. You may have noticed this bar in the bottom right. As you hit cars, this meter fills up, and every time you fill it up or take out another car, you get $100. Being aggressive means getting rich. On top of that, you only take damage from getting hit. The harder you hit a car, the less damage you take, meaning you can hit a stopped car at a speed that would crash weld 2 cars together in BeamNG and walk away unscathed. You can bring up to 4 cars to an event, so you can have designated roles for each one if you want, because this game has a lot of different event types. You're probably going to want more than one. There's the figure 8 race. The figure 8 race but with a big jump in the middle. The head-to-head race, which splits the field in half and makes them run the track in the opposite direction. The flagpole race, which places 1 or 2 poles on the track that you need to do a 360 around. The whip around race, which makes you do a 180 at the start line and do the track in the opposite direction. The stop and go race, which has you stop in a zone before continuing on. The forward backwards race, which has you stop in a zone and then do the whole track driving backwards. Shortcut races, which has the front half of the field essentially do a joker lap while the back half gets a shorter route. Wrangling, which times you in taking down a lone car. Red Rover, which has you race from one zone to another with the last car to get into a zone getting eliminated. The point-to-point race, which is not a sprint, but instead the track is littered with points that are only wide enough for about 2 cars and makes everyone scramble to do them in order. Demolition Derby, self-explanatory. The push-off, which is just a derby where you can push people out of the arena. The last man race, which eliminates the car in last place. And the jump race, which is just a circuit with a big jump somewhere on it. Those events might not sound that impressive, but consider that most of these are on small tracks, and later in the game the field size goes from a measly 8 up to 14. With that many cars, the point-to-point races in particular are absolute fucking chaos. When I originally had the idea for this video, I was going to play all my favorite derby games and just talk about each one briefly and be done with it. I played Demolition Racer, Destruction Derby Raw and Arenas, and Crash and Burn. And when I got to Test Drive, I just didn't stop playing it. This isn't just because it's one of my all-time favorites. This game has the best feeling crash physics of all of these games. I think it's absolutely remarkable because Monster Games didn't have any experience making derby games. 2 years before Test Drive came out, they released NASCAR Dirt to Daytona, which is where this dumbass camera angles were used from. Like, what the hell is this? And while sure, your average Martinsville Xfinity race looks like a demolition derby, crash physics were more than likely nowhere near the top of the list when designing a NASCAR game, even though they should be. But they nailed the feeling in Test Drive. Hits feel chunky and heavy. I really struggled to put my finger on exactly what makes the physics feel so good until I went back and played Wreckfest before writing the script to make sure I wasn't about to inaccurately glaze this game just because I had fond memories of it. The physics in Test Drive are predictable. In Demolition Racer, cars bounce around and glide. Destruction Derby Raw's impacts just kind of feel flat. Crash and Burn sucks fucking ass. And Destruction Derby Arenas just has the cars bounce off of each other regardless of who is actually doing the hitting. Wreckfest still feels great, but you never know if you're going to continue on through the car you just rammed into or be sent careening off into the wall at a weird angle. Is it realistic? Probably. Does it create feedback that incentivizes you to smash cars in the game about smashing cars for a reason other than personal amusement? No. It's not about realism. That's what BeamNG is for. It's about feel. They nailed this 20 years ago, and in my opinion, no one has come close yet. I truly don't think this game would be as good to me as it is without the announcer, John Schneider. He adds so much charm to the events and really hammers home that county fair vibe. The sound mixing to make it sound like a crappy loudspeaker is great, and when he talks, he's trying to entertain a crowd, not just commentate a race.
That's what we paid to see!
Sure, he mentions when you hit someone hard or when it's the last lap, but he also mentions sponsors of the track, cracks jokes, and talks about how if a certain car places higher than 5th, everyone gets a free hot dog.
Knock, knock.
And even thanks Monster Games, which is a fun reference because he's one of the producers at Monster Games, and being the announcer in this game is his only voice acting credit. According to Wikipedia, iRacing bought Monster Games in 2022, and as far as I can tell, John Schneider still works there. So that's great. I can't confirm this, but I'm pretty sure Test Drive isn't a finished game. After its release in November 2004, Monster Games completely switched gears and started developing games exclusively for Nintendo, making Excite Truck, Donkey Kong Country, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, what the fuck? I think they rushed Test Drive out the door in order to start working on Wii titles before the console's release, because Test Drive is missing some features in its career mode. The game makes you aware that there's chain racing and trailer racing by showing you one of those Carpocalypse shorts after your second or fourth event, but these never show up in the career mode. You can play both modes in the single-player arcade, and the AI is completely incompetent and drives at like 20 miles an hour the whole time. So I assume they didn't finish programming the AI to not shit its pants when it's towing something. Bus racing, for some reason, only shows up in the final event of the career mode. You can't customize your cars at all. The AI cars have the exhaust coming out of the hoods or side pipes. These assets are in the game, but you can never use them. And I refuse to believe that they were truly happy with the paint system. Sure, it gives off that hand-painted spray paint look, but how hard would it have been to just have some basic preset schemes to put on your cars? There's no manual option, which sucks because some cars just like to hang out in third gear forever. And the game's final event kinda just feels phoned in. It just takes place at the sand pit in the center of the hub town. The announcer is still there, thank God, even though there's like 2 people in attendance.
Have you seen my balls?
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that?
And when you win, the game rolls credits and just ends. Nothing changes. No grand celebration or unlocks. The career mode only took me 5 hours. Granted, I took first place in every Eve, so I ranked up fast because I'm just the best at this 20-year-old video game. Dear God, I'm so old. I had never beaten this game before, so I guess I was just disappointed. I did have a blast coming back and playing this game after almost 15 years. It still holds up phenomenally, and if you've never played it before and are just in the mood for a retro game, this is one that's actually good. I promise it's not just a rose-tinted glasses thing. Let me know if you played this game back in the day, because I feel like none of my friends that played racing games had ever even heard of it. And that's going to do it for the first installment of this series. If you liked it and want to see more, sound off in the comments for me. If you're watching this a while after this video has been uploaded, check the description to a link for the Derby Days playlist that I plan to make. I want to thank all my channel members for supporting these videos. You guys are legends, and I'll be back to Snowrunner content for the next video. So until then, drive safe.